Subscribe to my channel and do not forget to press the bell icon. It's totally free.
Hello, welcome to Jury Central online classes for law exams. So today we will be dealing with DULLM entrance solved paper of the year 2017 with correct answers. इससे पहले मैंने 2018 और 2019 का सॉल्व पेपर्स के वीडियो ऑलरेडी मैंने अपने चैनल पे अपलोड कर दिया है. आपको वो लिंक मेरे वीडियो के साथ मिल जाएगी. और वीडियो स्टार्ट करने से पहले मैं आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगी कि काइंडली लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब द चैनल, ताकि फ्यूचर में मैं जितने भी पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर जो DULLM एंट्रेंस एग्ज़ाम में जो पूछे गए हैं उसके सॉल्व पेपर मैं आप लोगों के साथ शेयर कर सकूँ, जिसकी नोटिफिकेशन भी आपको मिलती रहे. और एक और बात, हाँ, ये वीडियो अपलोड करने में मुझे थोड़ा 3 से 4 दिन का टाइम लग गया है. वो इसलिए लगा है क्योंकि मतलब कि ये जो वीडियो है ये काफ़ी केयरफुली तरीके से इसे मतलब कि बनाया जाता है कि ताकि आपको शिकायत का कोई मौका ना मिले. तो इसलिए अगर मुझे डिले लगता है 3 से 4 दिन का, तो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू काइंडली डू नॉट पैनिक. मेरा टारगेट ये है कि एटलीस्ट जो 10 इयर्स के जो क्वेश्चन पेपर है सॉल्व मैं आपके सामने ला सकूं. तो इसीलिए अगर वीडियो अपलोड करने में थोड़ा टाइम लग जाता है तो काइंडली बेयर विथ मी. जब तक मेरी नेक्स्ट वीडियो अपलोड होती है तब तक आप मेरे जो पुराने जो वीडियोस है उसे देख के आप रिवाइज कर सकते हैं. तो विद दिस नोट चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं. आवर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. For the purpose of Sainter rule, animals man fuite nature means. The correct option is option number A. Animals are harmless by nature. ये साइंटर रूल होता है और जिसका जो मैन फ्यूट नेचर है इसका जो मीनिंग होता है, इसका मीनिंग ये होता है कि एनिमल्स आर हार्मलेस बाय नेचर. सेकेंड, मैच द मैक्सिम्स मेंशन इन लिस्ट 1 विद देयर मीनिंग्स इन लिस्ट 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below. So in list 1 the name of the maxims are given, and in list 2 the meaning of the above mentioned maxims are given, and we have to match list 1 with list 2. So extirpe cause a non-auditor action. It means no action arises from an illegal or immoral conduct. Cui facit per alium facit per se. It means he who does an act through another is deemed in law to do it himself. Salus populi supreme lex. It means the welfare of people is supreme law. Res ipsa loquitur. It means the thing speaks for itself. Question number 3. By which amendment to the Consumer Protection Act 1986 the explanation added to the definition of consumer under section 2 clause 1 subclause D has been amended? So the correct option is option number B, 2002 amendment. By 2002 amendment, the meaning of commercial purpose has been added to the definition of consumer under section 2 clause 1 clause D under its explanation. Question number 4. Under section 2 clause C of the Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, handling in relation to any hazardous substance means. It means the correct option is option number D, the manufacture, processing, treatment, package, storage, transportation by vehicle, use, collection, destruction, conversion, offering for sale, transfer or the like of such hazardous substance. Question number 5. Which provision of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 provides for establishment of consumer disputes redressal agencies? The correct option is option number 1, which is section 9. Section 9 of Consumer Protection Act deals with consumer disputes redressal agencies. Section 13 deals with procedure on admission of complaint. Section 15 deals with appeal, and section 17 deals with jurisdiction of the state commission. Which of the following jurists introduced the doctrine of equality of states into international law and declared that a small republic was no less sovereign than the most powerful kingdom, just as a dwarf was as such a man as a giant? This was said by Vattel, and this question belongs to jurisprudence. Question number 7. The American continent would no longer be a subject of colonization by a European power, and any attempt by them to extend their system to any portion of American continent would be regarded as dangerous to the peace and safety of the United States. Preceding statement is an illustration of. So this is an illustration of option number C, which is Monroe Doctrine. Let's see about the other doctrine. Stimson Doctrine says it's actually a policy of non-recognition of states created as a result of aggression. Estrada Doctrine. The doctrine that recognition of a government should be based on its de facto existence rather than on its legitimacy. Calvo Doctrine, foreign policy doctrine, which holds that jurisdiction in international investment disputes lies with the country in which the investment is located. So apart from Monroe Doctrine, all these doctrines has been asked in the previous examination of DU LLM entrance. So that is why I always suggest you that whenever you are solving a question, always always know about the other options also, because the meaning of the other options are very much required, as the questions are very repetitive in nature and these options are asked many a times in the exam. So make sure that when you're preparing a question, make sure that you also prepare about the other options which is not relevant to the question you are reading. Question number 8. The universality principle is one of the main general principles on which states claim a more or less extensive penal jurisdiction at the present under international law. Under this principle, the jurisdiction is determined by reference to, so it is determined by reference to custody of the person committing the offence, and this is and the correct option is option number D, which I have just read it to you. 9. Under which of the following cases did the ICJ regard the straight baseline system as a valid principle of international law in view of the special geographic conditions of the sea? The correct option is option number A, Anglo-Norwegian fisheries case, and it is between UK versus Norway, also popularly known as fisheries case. Question number 10. Each member of the UN is permitted to send to the General Assembly not more than, the correct option is option number D, 5 representatives, and this is given under Article 9 of UN Charter. The articles of UN Charter is very much important, as the questions are totally sure from the article. So make sure that you prepare about the articles of UN Charter. This question has been asked many times in the exams, and there are total possibility that these questions may be asked in the coming examination also. Question number 11. Which of the following articles of the UN Charter confers the primary responsibility to maintain international peace and security upon the Security Council? The correct option is option number B, which is Article 24. Article 25 deals with the members of the United Nations agree to accept and carry out the decisions of the Security Council in accordance with the present Charter. Article 27 deals with voting. Question number 12. Which of the following sources is mentioned as one of the subsidiary means for determination of rules of international law in Article 38 clause 1 clause D of the Statute of ICJ? And the correct option is option number C, which is judicial decisions. So I have mentioned the para from the article 38 clause 1 clause D, and it says, subject to the provisions of Article 59, judicial decisions and the teachings of the most highly qualified publicists of various nations are subsidiary means for the determination of rules of law. Means apart from judicial decision, teachings of the most highly qualified publicists of various nations also comes under subsidiary means for the determination of rules of law. Question number 13. Which article of International Law Commission Draft Code on State Responsibility deal with the rule of exhaustion of local remedies? And this is option number B, which is Article 44, and Article 44 deals with admissibility of claims. Article 43 deals with the notice of claim by an injured state. Article 45 deals with loss of the right to invoke responsibility, and Article 46 deals with plurality of injured states. The Uniting for Peace resolution of 1950 implies that, so the correct option is option number B. It implies that the General Assembly, I have written the short form of General Assembly as GA. Please do not get confused. The GA can take up an issue which is likely to threaten international peace and security, and which the SC has failed to resolve as a result of a veto. If you're liking the session, kindly do not forget to hit the like button and also subscribe my channel. Question number 15. The optional clause in relation to jurisdiction of ICJ provides that. So the correct option is option number A. It provides that the state parties to the present statute may at any time declare that they recognize as compulsory ipso facto and without special agreement in relation to any other state accepting the same obligation the jurisdiction of the ICJ. This is given under Article 36 clause 2 of International Clause of Justice. So the optional clause is given under Articles of International Court of Justice. Question number 16. Full powers under the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties 1969 means. The correct option is option number B. Full powers is actually a formal document designating a person or persons to represent the state in the treaty negotiations. This is given under Article 2 Clause C of Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties 1969. So if you are having any doubt, so I would request all of you to kindly refer the provisions which I am mentioning with every questions. Once you will read the provision by yourself, you will understand the meaning of the question also. So kindly do that. Question number 17. The principle whereby a state can prevent a rule of customary law becoming binding on it, the first place is called. So it is called persistent objector rule. So let's see about the other principles. Just cogence. It means a preemptory norm is a fundamental principle of international law that is accepted by the international community of states as a norm from which no derogation is permitted. Pacta sunt servanda. The principle refers to private contracts stressing that contained clauses are law between the parties and implies that non-fulfillment of respective obligation is a breach of the pact. Opinion juris sive necessitates the belief that an action was carried out as a legal obligation. All this principle has already been asked in the previous year examination. So that is why I always suggest you that once you are reading any question, kindly prepare about the other options also, about the other asked options also, because it's going to help you a lot. Question number 18. Recently in 2016, in which of the following cases the ICJ rejected the case against certain nuclear armed states for failing to stop the spread of nuclear weapon? So the correct option is option number D, which is Marshall Islands versus UK. The intermediary is liable for the unlawful third party information hosted by him under the IT Act, that means Information Technology Act 2000. So the correct option is option number A. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. If it initiates the transmission, if it modifies the information contained in the transmission, if it fails to expeditiously remove or disable the access to unlawful material upon receiving actual knowledge. So this has been held in the very famous case of Supreme Court, which is known as Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. Section 79 of IT Act deals with intermediates not to be liable in certain cases. So in these cases, intermediates will be liable, and this is given under section 79 and also in the said case law. Question number 20. Which of the following can happen in denial of service attack? The correct option is option number A. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Flooding the computer with more requests than it can handle, It can lead to server crash. The authorized users are unable to access the service. So this all falls under the category of denial of service attack. Digital signature includes, so digital signature includes only one, that is asymmetric crypto system, and this is given under section 2 clause 1 clause F of IT Act. Asymmetric crypto system means a system of a secure key pair consisting of a private key for creating a digital signature and a public key to verify the digital signature. So asymmetric crypto system consists of key pair, which is first is private key and second is public key. Question number 22. The adjudicating officer under the IT Act 2000. So the correct option is 1 and 2 are correct. Can hold an inquiry against a person for contraventions of provisions under Chapter 9. Can adjudicate where claim or damage doesn't exceed rupees 5 crores, and this is given under section 46 of IT Act, which deals with power to adjudicate under IT Act 2000. I have seen many videos on YouTube. They only share the the correct options, but they never explain the question and the answers, and also the provision in which from which the question has been asked. And in some videos I have also found that the answer keys are totally wrong, and just for getting subscriber and likes, they have posted such videos without checking the fact. So this is not the case with Jury Central, because we are very careful in drafting our questions, and that is why we take a little bit of time to present these videos before you. So I hope you do not mind that if we take at least 3 to 4 days, because we are not making videos of 5 to 6 or 10 minutes, because those videos are actually of no use. Study of law is not very easy, but it is actually not very difficult, I must say. So you have to very attentive in this subject. To understand this subject properly, you have to work hard a little bit. So that is why this questions we are framing in a very good way, so that you all understand the answers and also the meaning of the questions very well, and that is the only key to crack the entrance examination and nothing else. Question number 23. The offence of child pornography is punishable under which section of the IT Act 2000? So the correct option is option number C. Under section 67B of IT Act, child pornography is punishable. It says, it deals with punishment for publishing or transmitting of material depicting children in sexually explicit act, etc. in electronic form. Section 66A is struck down. The Supreme Court, in the very famous case of Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, what it actually dealt with, it dealt with punishment for sending offensive messages through communication service, etc. Section 67 deals with punishment for publishing or transmitting obscene material in electronic form. Section 67C deals with preservation and retention of information by intermediaries. Kindly memorize all these sections. These sections are very, very important. Question number 24. Again, match the list options. So in list 1, so this is the question relates to family law. So in list 1, the name of the cases are given, and in list 2, the subjects of the cases are given. So Ashok Hurra versus Rupa Hurra, a very, very famous case. It deals with divorce by mutual consent. Gita Hariharan versus RBI. The case deals with mother as natural, in which it is held that mother as natural guardian. Lily Thomas versus Union of India. It deals with Uniform Civil Code. T. Sarita versus T. Venkata Sabbayya. It deals with restitution of conjugal rights. 25th. When two persons are descendants of a common ancestors but by different ancestors, they are said to be related to each other by, uterine blood, and this is given under section 3 clause D of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Question number 26. Children born of void marriages or annulled voidable marriages under sections 11 and 12 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 are. The correct option is option number D. Deemed to be legitimate but cannot inherit the property of any other person other than their parents. So this is given under section 16 of Hindu Marriage Act, which deals with legitimacy of children void and voidable marriages, whether the marriage is void or voidable. If a children is born out of the wedlock, that the legitimacy of the children is in question. They are always legitimate. Question number 27. No adoption shall be valid unless option number B, the person giving in adoption has the capacity and also the right to give in adoption, and this is given under section 6 of Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, which deals with requisites of a valid adoption. 28. Rules relating to Sapinda relationship are based on the principle of, so it is based on the principle of exogamy. And alienation of minor's property without the permission of the court is voidable at the instance of the minor, and this is actually held in a very famous case law by Supreme Court in Selvam versus Mangaya Karasi in the year 2013. It's a Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act case, and it is held that if a minor's property is alienated without the permission of the court, it is voidable at the instance of the minor. Question number 30. Which of the following grounds are not mentioned by the Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act 1939 for divorce to a Muslim woman married under Muslim law? So the correct option is option number A, 4 years imprisonment of the husband. All such conditions are given, only the first condition is not given for the dissolution of Muslim marriage under the Muslim Marriage Act 1939. Again, match the list question. So in list 1, some terms are given, and in list 2 the meaning of the terms are given. So these terms are actually these are the text, these are the Muslim text, and what it deals with, it is given in list 2. So let's match list 1 with list 2. Ijma. Ijma deals with collective opinion of commentators. So it's a text which deals with collective opinion of commentators. Option B, for B the option is 1. Jinayat. Jinayat is criminal law. Hadith. Hadith is a tradition. Qiyas. Qiyas is opinion of individual jurists. 32. A Muslim husband can delegate his right of talaq to. The correct option is C, any third person or to his wife. You are very well aware of this kind of talaq, and which is known as delegated divorce, and in the Muslim term it is known as talaq-e-tafweez. 33. Akbar, a Sunni Muslim male, marries Rosie, a Christian female, under Muslim law. The marriage is valid. Of course it's valid because the marriage is solemnized under Muslim law, so that is why the marriage is valid. 34. Cooling off period between two buybacks of securities under the Companies Act 2013. So the cooling off period is 1 year, option number B, and this is given under section 77 of Companies Act, which deals with power of company to purchase its own securities. 35. Corporate social responsibility compliance is required if a company has option number B. Section 135 deals with corporate social responsibilities, net profit of 5 crores or net worth of rupees 500 crores or turnover of rupees 1000 crores. So kindly remember, section 135 of Companies Act deals with corporate social responsibility. This question may be asked. Question number 36, assertion and reason question. Company is not a citizen. Reason, it cannot claim the protection of fundamental rights. The correct option is option number A. Both A and R is the correct explanation of A. Because fundamental rights is available to citizen. Company is not a citizen, and that is why it doesn't have any fundamental rights. And this is held in the very famous case law of State Trading Corporation of India Limited versus CTO. 37. proposition, two propositions are given, and we have to, choose which is correct and which is wrong. So rule of constructive notice protects the outsiders against the company. Turquoise rule protects the company against outsiders. The options both are wrong. Why I am telling you? See, the doctrine of constructive notice is a doctrine where all persons dealing with the company are deemed or misconstrued to have knowledge of the company's article of association and memorandum of association. And the doctrine of indoor management is an exception to this rule. So Turquoise rule actually doesn't protect the company against outsiders because it's actually indoor management rule. 38. Match the corporate principles. Again, matching list 1 and 2. So piercing the corporate veil. So it is dealt in the case of Guilford Motor Company versus Home. Doctrine of ultra-vires. This case has been dealt in Ashbury Railway Carriage versus Reich. Citizenship of a company. Just now we have dealt with this question. State Trading Corporation of India Limited versus CTO. Sanctity of majority rule. Question number D. The correct option is Foss versus Harbottle. Foss versus Harbottle is a very famous case law with regard to majority rule. Number of directorship a person can hold in different companies is, so the correct option is D, 20 including 10 public companies. So a person can hold as a director in all together 20 companies, in which maximum 10 public companies are permissible. So this is given under section 165 of Companies Act, which deals with number of directorships. 40. Assertion A. Assertion and reason question. HUF is not a firm. The relation of partnership arises from contract and not from status. This is totally true, because the relation of partner actually arises from the contract and not from the status. 41. Identify the correct legal proposition from the following statements. So they're asking that which is the correct statement. So the correct option is option number B. Every partner is liable jointly with all other partners and severely for all acts of the firm done while he is a partner. Everybody knows about this, and this is given under section 25, which deals with liability of a partner for acts of the firm. 42. Sonu, a minor, has opted to become a partner on attaining majority. He becomes personally liable to third party for acts of the firm. From whether he is personally liable or not, the correct option is he is not personally liable, and this is given under section 30, minors admitted to the benefits of the partnership. See, if a minor is actually becoming a partner to a firm, he is not personally liable from the date when he is joining as a partner, but his estate is liable, but he is not personally liable. 43. Match list 1 containing events and list 2 containing corresponding provisions. Again, list 1 matching list 1 with list 2. So A, expulsion of a partner. So the correct option is section 33. Section 33 of Partnership Act deals with expulsion of partner. B, retirement of a partner, and this is given under section 32. Insolvency of a partner. Insolvency of a partner. The correct option is section 34. Introduction of a partner. The correct option is section 31. The law of contract is not the whole law of agreement, nor is it the whole law of obligation. This was stated by William Anson. See, this is the major difference between the question asked in DULLM entrance exam and judiciary. I personally feel the questions are much higher level in comparison to Delhi judiciary, which are asked in DULLM exam. Though the number of questions are not are not very much. Only 100 questions are asked, and in judiciary the total number of 200 questions are asked. but the level of questions, the framing of questions, and the technicality of the question is actually, of much higher level. So make sure that when you're preparing, so you read the questions carefully and then you try to answer such questions, because that is there where we commit mistake. When we do not read the questions carefully, we actually take the wrong answers, and later we depend that no, this was not the correct answer, I should have picked something else. So make sure, take care of that. Question number 45. Communication of an acceptance is complete. So when it is complete, so the correct option is option number B. All 3 and 4 are correct. When it comes to the knowledge of the proposer as against the proposer, and when it is put in the course of transmission as against the proposer. So this is given under section 4, communication when it is complete. One second. As when it is full of as against the acceptor. Yes, actually the correct option will be 1 and 3, but here actually I have the correct option is 1 and 3. Sorry about the mistake which is given in the correct answer B. Question number 46. Which of the following statements are true? So which of the statements are true, they are asking. So the correct option is, past consideration is no consideration under English law, and past consideration means consideration is given earlier and the promise is made later. Yes. So the correct the option is totally correct. This is option number C. 47. Again matching the list 1 with list 2 question. So section 63. Okay, so the question has been asked from Indian Contract Act. Section 63 deals with doctrine of accord and satisfaction. Doctrine of frustration is given under section 56, which deals with agreement to do impossible act. Doctrine of unjust enrichment, it is given under section 70, which deals with obligation of person enjoying benefit of non-gratuitous act. Doctrine of pari delicto, it is given under section 23, which deals with what consideration and objects are lawful and what not. Assertion and reason question. A minor's agreement cannot be ratified by him on attaining the age of majority, and a ratification in law is treated as equivalent to a previous authority. The correct option is D. Both A and R are 2. R is the correct explanation of A. This is totally correct, that a minor's agreement cannot be ratified by him on attaining the age of majority. 49. Again matching list 1 with list 2 question. So statement of price is not an offer. It is held in Harvey versus Fassy. B. Exception to privity of contract. This has been given in Khwaja Muhammad Khan versus Hussaini Begum. Acceptance must be communicated to the offerer. This is held in Feldhaus versus Bindley. No estoppel against a minor, and this has been held in a very famous case law of Mohiri Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghosh. 50. A posts a letter of offer on 10th August. It reaches B on 14th August. A revokes his offer by telegram on 12th of August. The telegram reaches B on 16th of August. The revocation is complete. So the revocation is complete. The correct options, option number 2 and 3 are correct. On 16th as against B, and on 12th as against A. And this is again given, I have already mentioned the section 4, which deals with communication when complete. This example is actually taken from this section of Indian Contract Act, that when a communication is accepted or and when a revocation is complete, both the subjects are covered in the same section. 51. A promises to paint a picture for B by a certain day at a certain price. A dies before the day. The contract. So the contract cannot be enforced either by A's representative or by B. And this is given under section 37, which deals with obligation of parties to contract. This example has been given from this section, which deals with obligation of parties to contract. Choose the incorrect proposition by using the quotes given below. So we have to choose the incorrect proposition. So the incorrect proposition is one. 1 and 3 are correct. Then there are more. Okay, a promise can. Okay, so the incorrect proposition is, as I'm telling, that if 1 and 3, a promise cannot accept the performance of the purpose other than the promiser. Yes, 1 and 3, when there are more than one joint promisee, an offer of performance to one of the joint promises is not a valid tender. It is actually a valid tender. And a promise cannot accept the performance of the contract from a person other than the promiser. This is also wrong, because he can accept the performance of the contract from any other person also. It is not necessary that the performance of the contract has to be done by the promiser himself. It could be by other person also. So both 1 and 3 are incorrect. Again, matching list 1 with list 2. So time is the essence of the contract. This is given under section 55, which says effect of failure to perform at a fixed time in contract in which time is essential. This question again belongs from Indian Contract Act. Anticipatory breach of contract, this is given under section 62, which deals with effect of novation, rescission and alteration of contract. C. Doctrine of frustration, this is given under section 56. I've already dealt with this section. In it says agreement to do impossible act and discharge by novation, and this is given by effect of novation, rescission and alteration of contract. According to Austin, international law is, according to Austin, international law is positive morality. 55. Who said that jurisprudence is a formal science of law? So this has been said by Holland. Thomas Aquinas belongs to which school of jurisprudence? So he belongs from natural school of jurisprudence. Who amongst the following doesn't belong to the social contract theory? The correct option is Joseph Ras. He is a positivist. 58. The book Justice, What's the Right Thing to Do has been authored by Michael Sandel. For a custom to be valid as law must possess the following attribute. It should have antiquity, certainty and continuity. The correct option is option number D, all of the above. 60. Ownership consists of. So ownership consists of rights in rem. Rights in rem mean a right which is available against the whole world. 61. Possession acquired through an agent is. So when we are acquiring a possession of something, possession of a property through an agent, this is known as immediate possession. Immediate possession means when the possessor himself possesses the property or thing, we call it immediate possession or direct possession. Corporeal possession means objects which are physical or materialistic manifestation and which our senses can perceive are corporeal possession. The idea of justice means enhancing capability. This is a philosophy propounded by option number C, Amartya Sen. 63. The underlying purpose of recognizing corporation soul is. So the correct option number D, to maintain continuity of an entity. So recognition of a corporation soul actually requires that it's the entity shall maintain its continuity. 64. Fiction theory belongs to the concept of. So it belongs to the concept of personality. Feminist jurisprudence deals with all of the above: patriarchy, violence against women and law. Which one of the following is an essential element for the offence of sedition under section 124A of the IPC 1860? The correct option is option number D, any attempt to bring hatred or excite disaffection towards a government established by law. Which of the following is not an inchoate crime? So the correct option is attempt to commit murder. This is not an incorrect crime. Again, I'm very sorry about the correct answer. By mistake, I have given here option number D, but the correct option is B. See, inchoate crime is preparing or seeking to commit another crime, like attempt. Like if you are trying to, attempt to commit an offense, then this is known as inchoate crime. In which of the following case the right of private defense of property extends to the causing of death? So the correct option is B, mischief by fire in a godown used for storing. Okay, so this given under section 103 when the right of private defense of property extends to causing of death. Identify the incorrect statement from the following with regard to section 300 of the CRPC 1973. A person acquitted of any offence, the correct option is option number C, which is incorrect. A person acquitted of any offence constituted by any act causing consequences which together with such act constituted different offence from that of which he was acquitted may be tried for such last mentioned offence. One second. Incorrect statement. Yes, totally correct. In working out mutually satisfactory disposition under section 265C of the CRPC 1973, who all may participate in the process of plea bargaining. So, who all may participate in the process of plea bargaining? The correct option is option number C, the accused, the victim, the investigating of police officer and the public officer. So, section 265C of CRPC deals with guidelines for mutually satisfactory disposition. 71. The offence of sexual harassment under section 354A of the IPC includes. So, what it includes? It includes all of the above. The correct option is option number D. Hostile environment, quid pro quo, physical contact and advances involving unwelcome and explicit sexual overtures. That means all of the above. 72. The period of solitary confinement under section 73 of the IPC 1860 can be a maximum period of, everybody knows this is a very simple question. The correct option is option number C, 3 months. 73. Under section 438 of the CRPC 1973, anticipatory bail can be sought by a person by moving an application of, the correct option is option number C, for a non-bailable offence before a sessions court or a high court. So, an anticipatory bail can be granted by a sessions court or a high court. The offence of rape under section 375 of the IPC 1860 is understood to have been committed if there is consensual sexual intercourse by a man with a woman of 17 years of age. The correct option is option number A, and this has been added by Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013. This is given 6th description under the section which deals which says with or without her consent when she is under 18 years of age. Match the cases mentioned in list 1 which the principals events, like matching list 1 with list 2 question. So Lalita Kumari versus Government of UP, it deals with registration of FIR. DK Vasu versus State of West Bengal, it deals with rights of arrested person. Anesh Kumar versus State of Bihar, it deals with arrest. Rupen DL Bajaj versus KPS Gill, it deals with outraging the modesty of a woman. In Raja Ram versus Honorable Speaker Lok Sabha and others, which one of the following was not an issue before the SC? So, which of the following was not an issue to be decided by the Supreme Court? The correct option is option number A, where the right to speech and expression is inferior to the privileges of the member of the House. 77. What is the maximum punishment for a person who is found guilty of the offence of Benami transaction under the Benami Transaction Prohibition Amendment Act 2016 came into force? The correct option is option number C, 7 years, and this is given under section 53 of Benami Transaction Act, which deals with penalty for Benami transaction. 78. In ABC versus the State NCT of Delhi 2015, the Supreme Court has held that section 7 and 11 of the Guardian and Wards Act 1890 do not necessarily require notice to be sent to the unwilling father, and therefore the mother of a child born outside of wedlock can be bestowed guardianship. This is a very famous case law. Kindly remember this case law. 79. Provisions relating to vesting of property by escheat or lapse or as bona vacantia in the territory of India is provided under article. So So under which article is it is provided? The correct option number D, Article 296. So let's say what the other article. Article 297 of Indian Constitution Act deals with things of value within territorial waters of continental shelf and resources of the exclusive economic zone to west in the Union. Article 298, power to carry on trade, etc. Article 294 deals with succession to property, assets, rights, liabilities or obligation in certain cases from the commencement of this constitution. 80. In Jindal Stainless Limited versus State of Haryana 2016, the SC has laid down that the correct option is option number B. 1, 3 and 4 are correct. See, taxes simplicity are not within the contemplation of part 13 of the Constitution of India. Clauses A and B of Article 304 have to be read disjunctively, and the compensatory tax theory evolved in automobile transport case has no juristic basis and is therefore rejected. So it is a 9-judge bench which upheld the validity of anti-tax imposed on goods imported from other states. Question number 81. Again matching list 1 with list 2 question again. So this kind of questions are very much confusing. So be careful, like you prepare it thoroughly. If you are not getting it by reading at least once, so try to read it more than 5 to 6 times. You would easily get it. Full faith and credit shall be given to public acts, records and judicial proceedings of the Union and of every state, and this is given under Article 261. Full faith and credit to Article 261 deals with public acts, records and judicial proceedings. Doctrine of pleasure, this is given under Article 310, which deals with tenure of office of person serving the Union or a state. That means that if a person is serving under Union, he holds the office during the pleasure of the President, and if he is serving under any department of state, then he is holding the office during the pleasure of the Governor. Control of the Union over the administration of the scheduled areas and the welfare of the scheduled tribes, and this is given under Article number 339. Taxes not to be imposed save by authority of law, and this is given under Article 265. These questions are very important, and I tell you, this question has been repeated so many times. So the exam of DULLM in an entrance exam is nothing, is just nothing. They just repeat the questions which have been asked previously, and when you're not prepared well, then you feel the question a bit tough, but this is not so. If you're at least preparing for the last 10 years, so I can guarantee you can easily crack this paper. But side by side, you shall also be aware of the latest current affairs which is going on. So even questions of current affairs are also asked. So in DOLL entrance exam, this is not always, but yeah, there are certain case laws, there are certain amendments which are asked. I will be taking that session very soon, so don't worry about that. Which of the following is incorrect of the doctrine of territorial nexus? So this is given under the correct option number C. It doesn't apply to laws made by Parliament. This is actually incorrect, because it applies to the laws made by Parliament, and this is given under Article 245, which deals with extent of laws made by Parliament and by the legislatures of states. 83. Article 361A of the Constitution of India 1950 confers protection of publication of proceedings of Parliament and state legislature. Which of the following is not correct about the provision? So which of the following is not correct? The correct option is D. The protection of the article is available to the publication of a secret sitting of the either houses of Parliament or of Legislative Assembly. This is completely wrong, and this is given under Article 361A, which deals with protection of publication of proceedings of Parliament and state legislation. So protection is given only relating to the proceedings of the Parliament and state legislation, but it is not available to the publication of any secret sitting of either houses of parliament or legislative assemblies. Question number 84. In which of the following judgment the Supreme Court explained the effect of 42nd Amendment on protection available to civil servants under Article 311 of the Constitution of India 1950? So, this has been given under option number B. Sorry, this has been held in Union of India versus Tulsi Ram Patel. So Article 311 deals with dismissal, removal or reduction in rank of persons employed in civil capacities under the union or state. So I just read about the brief of the case. So the case involved the interpretation of Articles 309, 310 and 311 of the Constitution, and in particular the second provision to Clause 2 of Article 311 after its amendment by the Constitution 42nd Amendment Act 1976. So the other, the other options deal with the same subject, Article 311. In A.K. Kraipak versus Union of India, it is held that no man shall be a judge in his own cause. S.N. Mukherjee versus Union of India, this deals with rules of natural justice, of course under the same article, Article 311. 85. Which one of the following is not correct about the 229th report of the Law Commission of India 2009? The correct option is option number D. The report recommends division of the Supreme Court into a constitution bench and 4 cassation benches can be done by the Supreme Court under Article 130 of the Constitution of India 1950. No, this is completely wrong. 86. In Madras Bar Association versus Union of India, the SC declared the National Tax Tribunal Act 2005 unconstitutional on the ground that the correct option is option number B, that it encroached upon the exclusive domain of the superior courts of record and the principle of separation of powers. 87. A joint sitting of both houses of parliament may be summoned by. The correct option is option number B, if the houses have finally disagreed as to the amendments to be made in the bill, and this is given under Article 108 of Indian Constitution, which deals with joint sitting of both houses in certain cases. 88. The provisions of the General Clauses Act 1896, it applies. The correct option is option number A, apply for the interpretation of the Constitution by virtue of Article 367. Article 367 deals with interpretation. 89. Consider the following statements. So again they are asking that which statements are incorrect. So the correct option is option number A, which is only 4 is incorrect. Constitution and constitutional law are not synonymous. No, this is just yes. The correct option is the executive power is defined in relation. Yes. Okay. So again, I have just by mistake. Sorry for that. So constitution and constitutional law are not synonymous. This is totally correct. So here the correct option would be option 1, 2, and 3. Option number C is the correct answer. See, here I have answered this question with regard to which of the following is the correct statement. So the question is asking about the incorrect statement. So the correct option is option number 1, 2, and 3. Executive power of the union and state is defined in relation to legislative competency of the parliament and state legislature respectively. This is completely wrong. Executive power of the union extends to giving of direction to a state in certain cases. This is also wrong. Article 13 and 32 did together provide a major charter of law reform. This is also very much incorrect, and constitution and constitutional law are not synonymous. This is totally correct. I have given why it is so correct. So kindly read it by yourself. 90. Which article of the Constitution of India 1950 mentioned below provides for reservation of seats for women in Panchayat? The correct option is option number A, Article 243D. Article 243B deals with Constitution of Panchayat. This question has been asked in the previous exam 2018. We have already dealt with it. You would find the link above my video. So kindly go to the playlist, and if you haven't watched the previous session of salt paper of 2018 and 2019. Kindly go and check the playlist. You would find it there. Article 243(3) Composition of Panchayats. Article 243(I) Constitution of Finance Commissions to review financial position. 91. Which of the followings are correct of the Paris Agreement? So which of the following are correct? The correct option is option number D. All of the above is correct. It envisages to make finance flows consistent with a pathway towards low greenhouse gas emissions and climate resilient development. The agreement aims to pursue efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. This agreement will be implemented to reflect equity and the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities in the light of different national circumstances. The correct option is option number D. The precautionary principle of environmental law was elucidated as part of Municipal Law of India so in which case law it is elucidated. So the correct option is Vellore Citizens Welfare Forum versus Union of India. In MC Mehta versus Kamal Nath, here the Supreme Court has evolved the principle of public trust doctrine. What the doctrine says, the doctrine enjoins upon the government to protect resources for the enjoyment of the general public rather than to permit their use for private ownership or commercial purposes. And option number D, MC Mehta versus Union of India, you all very famously known. In this case, the principle of absolute liability is evolved. 93. Which of the following is a special directive? So which of the following is a special directive? See, the correct option is option number D. There shall be a special officer for linguistic minorities to be appointed by the President. This has been given under Article 350B, which deals with special officer for linguistic minorities. All the other three options, these are actually given. These are not actually special directive. Matching list 1 with list 2. Raise special reference number 1 of 2012. So it deals with allocation of natural resources. Abhiram Singh versus C.D. Komachan. It deals with prohibition of appeals in election on the ground of religion, race, caste, community or language by any candidate. Krishna Kumar Singh versus State of Bihar. This deals with the power of the President under Article 123 or of the Governor under Article 213 to promulgate ordinance. National Legal Services Authority versus Union of India. It deals with rights of third gender, in which the third gender has been identified. 95. Article 269A, Clause I of the Constitution of India 1950 provides that goods and service tax on supplies in the course of interstate trade or commerce shall be levied and collected by the Government of India, and such tax shall be apportioned between Union and the states. So the correct answer is how it may be apportioned, as may be provided by Parliament by law on the recommendation of the Goods and Services Tax Council. This is given under Article 269A, already mentioned in the question itself, which deals with levy and collection of goods and service tax in the course of interstate trade or commerce. 96. Again, matching the list 2 with list 1 with list 2. Res ipsa loquitur, that means thing speaks for itself. We have already seen this maxim in our previous questions. So it is dealt in Achyutrao Haribhau Khawra versus State of Maharashtra. Novus actus interveniens. It means a new intervening act, and this has been dealt in the case of actually, when I was solving the question, I didn't find the option number 4. Only 3 options were given for the case laws of list 2. 4th was not given, so that is why I have not mentioned it. I thought of sharing the question with you. Innuendo. An innuendo is a hint. It means an innuendo is a hint, insinuation or intimation about a person or thing, especially of a denigrating or a derogatory nature, and it is dealt in Tolley versus J.S. Fry and Sons. Eggshell skull rule. This rule has been upheld in the case of Smith versus Leach Brain and Company Limited. The same question has been asked In the previous exam of 2018, we have already dealt with this question. If you haven't yet watched that video, kindly go to my playlist. The name of the playlist is DULM Entrance Exam Solved Papers. There you would find both the solved papers of 2019 as well as 2018. 97. Spatial damage must be proved in an action for. So spatial damage must be proved in an action for both negligence and nuisance. The correct option is option number A and B. 98. While D was on drive in his two-horse carriage, a dog barked and pounced on the horses. Thereby the horses got scared and became unmanageable and injured P. A pedestrian. P suit D. What defense is available to D? So the correct option is option number B. This is an inevitable accident. This cannot be termed as contributory negligence, mismeasure, or voluntary non-fit injury. So the correct option is inevitable accident. 99. In which of the following cases Lord Wilberforce opined that it is necessary to consider three elements inherent in any claim for nervous shock? The class of persons whose claim should be recognized, the proximity of such persons to the incident, and the means adopted by which shock is caused. So the correct option is option number A, McLaughlin versus O'Brien. The same question has been asked in the previous year question paper also. We have already dealt with it. Question number 100. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court stated that in modern sense of distinction between sovereign and non-sovereign power doesn't exist? So this has been in a very landmark case by Supreme Court in the matter of N. Nagendra Rao and Company versus State of AP. All the other three options also deal with the same subject of state sovereignty. So this is the end of the slide, and I hope you all liked this video. I request all of you to kindly like, share and subscribe my channel so that you do not miss any notifications in future. My mission is to complete at least 10 years past question papers of DULL entrance exam to boost your preparation, and this is given totally at free of cost. We are not charging from you anything, but what we only request you to kindly subscribe the channel. Your subscription actually acts as a motivation for us to present more such videos before you, and it is actually good for your preparation. And the best and the smartest way to crack any examination is to solve the previous year question paper, because you actually get the idea of what actually asked in examinations. So this is the best one. If I talk about the mantra of cracking DULL entrance exam, so you have to only solve the previous year question paper, and you also have to get through about the latest happenings, like the latest case law, latest amendment. So only these things are sufficient and more than sufficient to boost your preparation. And do not panic. We are actually taking much time, not much time, I mean 3 to 4 days to upload such videos, because we do a lot of research, and I hope you would keep patience for the next video. So till then, we meet the next time. Keep watching our channel and have a good day.